This is the newly released Tesla Model Y Performance. Today I'll be testing range and consumption, cabin noise and also the charging. Welcome to its own electric. Let us start with the basics.
It's only electric.
It is a mid-size SUV measuring just under 4.8 meters in length with a wheelbase of 2.89. It weighs 2 tons and 40 kilograms. It's all-wheel drive with a single permanent magnet synchronous motor at the back and a smaller induction motor at the front. Total power is 338 kilowatts or 460 horsepower and approximately 600 newton meters of torque. We don't know the exact numbers because Tesla doesn't officially release them, but what we know is 0 to 100 in 3.5 seconds with a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. It is a 400 volt architecture and it should be able to charge from 10 to 80% in 32 minutes with a top speed of 250 kilowatts. When it comes to AC charging, it's charged at 11 kilowatts. We'll see about the charging speeds later in this video. It has an upgraded battery pack with a gross capacity of 85 kilowatt hours and a net capacity of 82. Its stated WLTP are 580 kilometers. It drives on these new 21-inch wheels and it has Pirelli P0 tires and they measure 275/35 at the back and 255/35 at the front. Let's drive. To the range and consumption test. It's the same road, same stretch every time. It's a fixed route of 80 kilometers and it's varied speeds from 50 all the way up to 110 kilometers per hour. And we have a couple of set rules, and the first one is we always stick to the speed limit. The second one is we drive the car in eco mode, and I'm driving in chill mode. And the third one is we set the AC to 20 degrees and eco if available, and I have done all of these things. So I've just passed 24 kilometers, and the average consumption right now is 16.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which seems fairly decent. The start of the stretch, it will probably lower a little bit, but then we have the high speed stretch in the last bit. So let's see, but Teslas are really efficient. So I don't think this will be a problem for Model Y Performance. Something I missed to mention, even though it's mixed speed between 50 all the way up to 110, the average speed for the whole stretch should be 93 kilometers per hour. I will not be able to go through this car in all its details, but we have already done a full review. It's linked up here. Check that one out to learn more about the Model Y Performance. I will add some personal opinions and thoughts I have about it. To start with, this Tesla Model Y Performance looks so much better than the regular one. I think the regular one is a little bit boring. Maybe I get used to them too much, but the rear diffuser looks great and the wing also sticks out a lot. I think it's 6 millimeters extra, but it looks a lot more sporty than it did before. Another update is this 16-inch screen. It's a little bit more square corners and not as rounded as before, so a little bit bigger and more square, but it's so smooth, it's so soft, it feels like 120 Hz almost. So it's a really snappy system like all Teslas. They're still on top of the game when it comes to software, if you ask me. Another update is these sports seats, and they are a lot more sporty, they look a lot better. This thigh support is the biggest update for me. They're a lot more comfortable, gives a lot more support for your thighs. A little bit hard seats, but I prefer sports seats. It's not for everyone, but it is the performance, so I think it suits the car better than the regular seats. And something this Tesla does really well is the sound system. You have clear highs, nice mids, punchy bass, and you can really crank up the volume and it feels like a nightclub almost. It's so amazing. It's up there with the best ones. No, it's not as good as Volvo's Baron Wilkins system, but for being the standard in the long range and so on, and the performance one, I think it's more than enough, and I really like the sound of it. It suits my listening style, more house, more club. I like this sound system a lot. Something Tesla really has to understand is the speed limit warning system. Let's go past a couple of kilometers. Now it's beeping. And you have a speed sign that's blinking. You just press that one time and you get a speaker with an X on it. And now it's off. It should always be this easy. I don't know why Other manufacturers keep insisting on making it complicated to turn it off. Okay, some of them have it on the steering wheel, but some cars it's really complicated. Like the smart #5, you need to go into like 3 menus before finding it and scrolling down. All of the cars I have driven so far is reading the speed signs wrong a couple of times every drive. I have just passed 40 kilometers and the average consumption right now is 15.6 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometers. This is great. I mean, we're driving a car with more than 450 horsepower, with 21-inch rims, a wing, a diffuser. Of course, those helps with aerodynamics, but still, for being a performance car, I think it's really great. So now we're testing the Autopilot in a pretty hard curve. Let's see what it's doing. Oh, I think it's... Oh! Slowing down, thank you. Okay, this is the first car managing this curve, 70 kilometers per hour, but I understand it needs to brake down to 45 kilometers per hour. Is this the best Autopilot in the market? And the Autopilot handles these curvy small roads that's pretty fast. It's 70 kilometers per hour with pretty tight turns. Let's see, this one is hard. Okay, no. It came a car also, so I need to intervene. It handled the hardest part. That was interesting. Let's see. Again here, it's not gonna handle this one. I don't understand how it can be 70 here. Oh, no. I'm taking over. I didn't trust it there. I mean, 70 on those roads is not possible. It is possible, but you shouldn't drive that fast on those stretches. It handled it pretty good, and it warned me before. It said curvature ahead, so be ready. And that's a good signal. Some cars just drops it, doesn't beep, doesn't warn you or anything. To activate adaptive cruise control, you press the right scroll wheel and it will set to the speed limit. It's really hard to see this small icon, but when you get used to it, you know what it is at least. And then you just scroll up and down to change the speed. And you can also press this scroll wheel right or left to increase or decrease the distance to the car in front. And it's also equipped with the active steering assist, so it will keep you in the lane and almost drive itself. But as we saw earlier, it doesn't handle all situations as every other car for now. One thing I dislike about this Autopilot system is that it's really hard to change between full Autopilot and only adaptive cruise control. But you can do that by pressing the car, and here you go into Autopilot, and here are Autopilot features. You can have auto steer that we have now, and also traffic aware cruise control, so adaptive cruise control. But you need to go into the menu and change this. I wish I could press the button 1 time or 2 times. Maybe I'm missing something, but I haven't been able to do it in an easy way. And here you also have some offsets for the speed limit, so really nice. You can change, like if you press adaptive cruise control, it will cruise 10 kilometers under the speed limit or 10 kilometers over. It's up to you. You also have some other safety system here. Forward collision warning, you have lane departure avoidance, and some green traffic lights, chimes, and a lot of other things. You also have some safety and warning systems in the safety category, and here you can change the blind spot warning system and so on. So there's a lot of settings and they're really nice. And normally I only turn off the speed chimes. The other things doesn't bother me that much. This Model Y Performance is not equipped with the full Autopilot, so it doesn't change the lanes for me. I don't know, I've checked all the settings and I've done this before many times, and that's strange because all the new Model Ys that we're testing here in Sweden normally comes with full Autopilot, so it also changes lanes. But I cannot find that setting, and it doesn't change the lane at all. So I don't know. Let's try again. No, it doesn't want to change lane. Otherwise, on the steering wheel, you have the high beam button, you have the washer fluid, the sprays, the nozzles, and also the media control here on the left. So up and down for volume, left and right for changing songs, and pressing it is muting it. So really easy. On the right, as I said, the scroll wheel is normally for the Autopilot system. And then on the top we have these rings, and it's the cameras and the microphone for talking. So really clean, really easy. I really miss the drive selector talk. to change between the autopilot and just adaptive cruise control, and also just put it at drive and reverse. It doesn't do the right choices all the time. Something I think I noticed is this car seems to be a little bit more quiet than the long range and standard range. Even though this is driving on 21-inch wheels, I think it's some new updated P0s, but still, that should be impressive. I don't know yet. I will test that after and talk to you later about that. It is time to summarize the range and consumption test. It was 13 degrees outside, sunny and dry roads, so decent conditions, not optimal, but still pretty good. Keep in mind we're driving on 21-inch Pirelli P0 tires, summer sport tires. And the final consumption landed on 15.3 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometers, and that's a real-world range of 536 kilometers, and that's 92% of the stated WLTP. That's actually really good, considering the battery size and it's the performance model. That is a really good range and efficiency, so Tesla has nailed it again. They're still the kings when it comes to efficiency for regular cars. The bigger battery has really helped them. Amazing work, and I think it's one of the best Teslas we have tested so far, and better than the long range variant, both with 20-inch and 19-inch. I also did a high-speed range test, so 120 kilometers per hour GPS speed, 123 kilometers per hour indicated on the screen, and the average consumption was 20.3 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometers, or a real-world range of 404 kilometers, and that's at constant 120 kilometers per hour GPS speed. So that's actually really good range. So this battery and the efficiency gains they've done with this performance, probably the wheel covers and the lower ride height and everything has helped, but amazing efficiency as always. It was 10 degrees outside and dry roads, and I was driving the car in chill mode and AC set to 20 degrees. Next up is the cabin noise test. We always measure the cabin noise on the same road, same stretch. We put the microphone in head height on the passenger side and we measure at 50, 70, 90, 110 kilometers per hour. And the Model Y performance averaged 60.75 decibels, and this is the best result so far for any Model Y. So it's actually better than the Model Y long range Uniper 19 and 20-inch wheels, and miles ahead of the old Model Y performance. So now it's on par with the BMW iX3 and also the Smart #5, so exactly the same. So in the middle of the pack, and this is what I expect from a mid-size SUV in this price segment. So great work, Tesla, and really interesting that you did it on the performance model with the 21-inch wheels. It's some new tires with some foam in it, but could be something else also. Tesla is not that transparent with what they're doing, but great work either way. To the last topic, and this is charging. To preheat the battery, you need to navigate to a supercharger. So I did that approximately 30 minutes before I wanted to charge. I plugged it in and charged it from 10 to 80%, and it took 34 minutes and 2 seconds. So specified time is 32 minutes. So something went wrong. And the peak speed I saw was 161 kilowatts between 33 and 36%, and it should be 250 kilowatts at approximately 10% to 20%. We were 3 cars total on 14 stalls. So something isn't right, but this is not the first time I have a problem with the superchargers. I have been 34 minutes a couple of times with Teslas. I don't know what happened and what went wrong, but probably it didn't preheat the battery enough. But 30 minutes should be enough when it's over 10 degrees outside. Tesla was the leader of supercharging or fast charging, but now they are in the back seat. You have the Chinese cars with 5C batteries, 12 minutes or 16 minutes. Even the Volkswagen cars, 24 minutes, 26 minutes. Mercedes, BMW and so on. So I think Tesla needs to step up their game when it comes to charging. 32 minutes is not enough anymore. They need to go to 800 volt system, and they need at least 3C batteries, so 20 minutes charging would be great and enough. And of course it's hard for them to change because they have all their chargers, the V2, the V3, all of them are 400 volt, so they cannot change them in one day, and it will be a really hard situation for old cars and new cars to mix them and which chargers are which. Let's see how they will solve it, but they need to update the charging if you ask me. Let me try to summarize the Tesla Model Y performance, my thoughts and my feelings of it. It starts at 720,000 crowns or 65,000 euros. This one, as specified with the red color and the white interior, starts at 763,000 crowns or 69,000 euros. And this is the spec I will go for. I love the red paint with the white interior, looks amazing. And I actually prefer this new Model Y design. I think it looks a lot more sporty, more clean than the old one. I think the old one was a little bit frog-like. I know there's many people that thinks the old one looks better, but I don't agree. I think this one looks a lot better, especially with this performance pack, with the nice diffuser at the back and also the wing. I wish the front was even more sporty, but I think it's a welcome upgrade. The interior of the new one is amazing. I really like these materials. It's a good leatherette finish. The steering wheel feels great. These seats are the best Tesla seat I've ever sat in. Fire support has made a day and night difference for me comfort-wise. And they also ventilated, so really great seats. Updated screen was not needed, but I don't say no to that. But the software is amazing, and that's why Tesla has always been the obvious choice. Great software, you know exactly what you get. These adaptive dampers, it's stiff and stiffer. I wish there was one softer setting, but there isn't. And this is the thing with the Model Y. It's a really sporty SUV. It's really fun to drive. But I wish it was one softer suspension for a more comfort drive, so it doesn't get that stressed in some alignments and so on. But it's amazing to drive. This performance is the next level of fun to drive. And now when it's more quiet, it's in the middle of the pack, so what I expect for a car like this, and I cannot complain about the cabin noise anymore. It is a great car. You really know what you're getting. It's so practical and so fun. There's 3 things that will make this car perfect. And the first one is an even softer suspension alternative. You have the Volkswagen system, the DCC, you can do it even softer. And the Tesla Model Y needs it on all models, not only the performance one. Because it's really fun to drive, it's really sporty, and in sport mode it's even sportier now, but we need a softer suspension, especially for the long range and standard range. Just a little bit for highway cruising and city driving, it would be amazing. The second one is 800 volt system. We need faster charging. 3C, 20 minutes would be enough for 2-3 years to come, but 32 minutes is not that good anymore. And the third one is parking sensors. Like, it has complained to me, stop and everything when I'm parking. I have nothing in front of me. When it's night, it gets glares from the lights and so on. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, just put parking sensors. But as I said, charging is the most important for me. And the second is suspension. I want one step softer suspension. But if you love driving, want a fun SUV, if you don't want to hassle around with the software, you need a stable software, you want to know exactly what you get, Tesla Model Y is a great choice, and the performance is even better if you love driving a little bit more aggressive and have even more fun. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like the video, share it and give it a thumbs up, and also hype it. It's a new function, but it helps a lot if you hype it. What do you think about the Tesla Model Y performance? Would you go for this one, or would you go for an Xpeng G6? Maybe a Zeekr 7X Privilege, or maybe just an ID4, ID5 or a Cupra Tavascan? Comment down below, let's have a discussion. Thank you for watching, and as we always say, stay electric.